Hello and welcome to the first installment of an in-depth look at Hytale's website. Today we'll be looking at the UI blog. There's a lot of really interesting things to talk about. Let's first start out by pointing out that there are stats underneath your character. So it looks like you have health regen. I'm guessing that's mana and mana regen, defense, melee, attack power, ranged attack power, and magic attack power. I'm guessing that's what those three are, but it's not exactly clear. Then you got on the bottom right 4 different icons, one being a book with the letter L next to it, which I'm guessing is the quest log. Then you got the compass with an M next to it, which is clearly a map. Then you got a bag with E next to it, which I'm again guessing is your inventory. And then you have the most interesting, 2 hands shaking with a T next to it, which I can only assume means trading. Now, this is interesting for a few reasons. It could mean that you don't have to toss items on the ground anymore. Instead, you open up a trade window with someone and you just give them the item through there. Now you don't have to toss your food on the ground in order for someone else to enjoy your cooking. Or it could mean you're trading it for currency. It could mean both. It's very interesting. I would love to see how that's implemented. Then they also show 12 sword models in this picture, one of which being green, which is, I'm assuming, thorium because of this picture, another one being cobalt, and one looks like it's a cutlass. So you have 12 different swords here, and there is a scroll bar, so that means there's even more, but we can only see 12. And the crafting for these swords is pretty simple. You just have to have the materials and then you press craft. Here are a few other models of swords that we have at our disposal. There is the Trork Chief Cleaver, the Ethereal Dagger, the Toothy Barbed Club, the Runed Runic Sword, a few different staffs, and a few different wands. But most interestingly enough, they show 4 different materials, so copper, iron, thorium, and cobalt. I'm sure there are loads more, because thorium and cobalt are very interesting materials. I don't see those ever used in Minecraft. So there has to be loads more. There has to be. And then they show 6 other daggers or swords that has the caption of other shapes. So that means one type of thorium dagger could have several different shapes to it. I don't know if that would change its DPS. Would it change how much damage it does per hit? Would it change how fast it can hit? What does that change? It's an interesting thing to think about. And then they have a whole bunch of other weapons here, including battle axes and warhammers and lots of very cool things to look at, even a really long sword. So then we have this image. This is like a more interesting crafting mechanic for swords. I don't know if you have to go through this in order to craft the swords that we saw in the previous image, but it looks like you have to give the UI some metal to forge with and then press down on it, I guess? I don't know. It's not very intuitive on what's going on here, but it looks interesting, to say the least. And then we have an image that tells us that we will definitely have 2-handed weapons and 1-handed weapons. I don't know if this means we will be able to dual wield, or if that just means you have to use a shield with it. You can't hold the demonic axe and another demonic axe. I would love to see dual wielding. I don't know how they're gonna do it. They could do something similar to Minecraft, but Minecraft honestly sucks for dual wielding. It's interesting. I would love to see dual wielding. Then we have an image for character creation. There isn't much here to go on. It's just an interesting image. You got various shoes you can wear. I mean, if you saw the trailer, this isn't really that big a news to you. And then this one, it plays off of something we saw in the trailer. We saw this cacti beast in the trailer, but we didn't see how he was textured. Here we can actually see that, and it's really interesting to see how he's comprised, like how he was constructed. It's really interesting to see that, because you can see the top of his tall cactus. You can see his eye. He only has one textured eye, but there's 2 eyes, so they clearly duplicate it. They have the flower textured. They even have the spikes textured, and I would love to see how this is created. Like, do you have to draw out each of these boxes and tell them where to go, or just by making the polygons, does it put it over in there and then you just draw on that then. He does have a mouth, a single mouth here, and I know there are animations to the mouth, so does this mean you have to draw the animations for the mouth somewhere else? Is that just not controlled here? Or does this guy only have one expression? That's all we got for the UI blog. Thanks for watching my video all the way through. In the next video, we'll check out the NPCs of Hytale. Nope, try again. Ah, it,